Rushy, but it's number of Catholics. By Rukavov, he's making fantastic content, so I'm trying to think who is number one. Obviously, it's not going to be the Vatican. However, 100% of the people in the Vatican are Catholics, right? As of 2019, there's only 125 people living in the tiniest country in the world. But who would have the most Catholics? We're definitely about to see a lot of European nations. There we go. Here comes Italy. I'm just going to make my guess right now. I think it's maybe still the USA. Because there's 331 million people living here, I think if just 25% of them are Catholics, we'll take the crown. Pardon the pun there. I didn't mean to do that. Okay, so we have the Vatican City at 800. The Vatican City looking up at Italy. Italy's definitely going to be high. France, I think, is going to be a little bit higher. They're already at 15 million. The UK, Germany's mostly Protestant, I believe. Oh, Mexico. Yeah, they're going to have a lot. So Italy's at 40 million. Mexico's at 60. I'm actually a little surprised there's not more in Mexico. Mexico's got like 130 million people in. I thought at least 50% of those would be Catholic. Oh, here's the US. I guess I'm wrong. Let's see exactly. I was saying that if we have 25%. Oh, Mexico's not happy. Oh, Mexico beat them. Oh, what a twist. Is it the Philippines? I completely forgot about the Philippines. Oh, they're still going. Maybe I'm not understanding the format of this video enough. Brazil is possibly ahead of Mexico. Yes, 123 million. Yep, it's in that order. Italy, the US, the Philippines, Mexico, and Brazil is number one. That's gonna bother me for a while. I didn't even consider the Philippines. But of course I should have, since they too were colonized by Spain. Sticking with that same theme here, number of Muslims. I gotta get this one right. Is it Egypt that's number one? They definitely have over 100 million population. Egypt does. I don't know how many of them are Muslim. So we're starting off with Indonesia. I get confused though because we're in the Countryballs universe. Wait, I don't know because they're purposely flipped upside down for some reason. Okay, I think that's Poland. Here comes France. France is at over 30,000 Muslims. Oh, okay, I think that is Poland. Whoa. Oh wait, we're not at a million yet. I thought okay, now we are at a million. Wow, France. But again, five is still going to be nothing compared to once we get to like the Middle East. It's not Indonesia. I mean, I still feel Egypt is going to be second. First or second. So that's Pakistan. Oh, I did forget about Pakistan. Here's that's Iraq. They're gonna have a lot, but definitely not number one. So they're gonna have close to 40 million. Pakistan, a little bit sad. Oh, that's right. Okay, so this is the format. So Pakistan still has them beat. So Pakistan's gonna be in second. Is that how this goes? India does surprisingly have a lot, but just because India has so much, it is Indonesia, isn't it? Oh man, I almost picked them, but I was like, why do I feel like that's wrong? I didn't want to be wrong because I know everyone would make fun of me. Guess I should have just dealt with the consequences. Egypt's actually all the way down here in 5th, and we didn't even get to Bangladesh, man. I completely forgot about South Asia. Look at this, insane that India almost has more Muslims than Pakistan. Obviously, on a percentage basis, India doesn't look that impressive because there's just a lot of people that live in India. But it is kind of funny, there's still so many. Nukes by country, this one's going to be an easy one. This is going to be finally the one that I get, I think. I think it's either the USA or Russia. I think it's Russia. Yeah, I'm pretty confident. So we're starting with North Korea. They think they have like 40. I think they think, or maybe not even that. They have 30. Okay, so it's Israel. There's 9 countries currently with nukes in the world, I believe. We're probably not going to see them all in this video though, just because it goes against kind of the format. So we have the UK, France, Pakistan, India, China, Russia. I don't think I've named them all. The USA. Okay, so Israel supposedly has 90. Here goes the US. Okay, so it's definitely going to be Russia number one now. Now I feel confident. Does France have more than us? The USA only has... No. Oh, okay, that's right. I keep forgetting. Yeah, 5,000. And then here goes China. Ooh, nope. China's not going to pass this up. It has to be the Russians. Yes. They still have to keep a pretty big arsenal. Has to are some weird words to use there, but having almost 6,000 does guarantee their security. Worldwide, there's a total of 25,500 nuclear warheads, and here are all the 9 countries. Obviously, a majority of that is coming from the US and Russia, and it's actually really not even close. All right, this one's going to be a tough one. Oil production per country. What exactly are we talking about? Now, from the video, it looks like we're talking barrels of oil. I don't think this has anything to do with like GDP. Interesting that we're also starting with Cyprus here. Who's going to produce the most barrels per oil? Is it going to be overall still the USA? Or, I mean, Saudi Arabia is really up there, though. For being such a small country with only like 40 million people, they produce a ton of oil. Okay, well, let's see how many barrels Cyprus has. About 10,000. Here we go. Here's Turkey. They definitely have a lot. But now that we know the format, we know that they're not number one. It might be, it's either Russia, Saudi Arabia, or the USA. I think it's the US. I'm just going to say the US. So they're making 66 barrels of oil. Okay, so there's Saudi Arabia. They're not going to be number one. They're going to be number 2. 3 million. Brazil. I actually did not expect to see Brazil on here. Where are they getting all that oil from? From the Amazon? Okay, so here goes Saudi Arabia taking back the second place, 12. Okay, it's Russia. I think. No. It's USA. Sorry, man, why do I keep forgetting how we're supposed to? We've done it so many times. Okay, the U.S. produces the most oil, but I was right. It's Russia, Saudi Arabia, and then the U.S. in terms of oil production in general. There's many ways to classify that, though. Oil exists. USA, you need freedom. Interesting that Brazil even made an appearance because according to this, they're not even in the top 5. We are talking about crude oil here. But of course, this is something that obviously fluctuates. Here we go, finally talking about a resource more important than oil, What? Potatoes. Potatoes are much more important than oil. I mean, to our human bodies, that's true. Okay, who produces the most potatoes? I actually have no idea. I'm really confident I did look this up once, and it's not the USA. But our state of Idaho is the one that produces the most potatoes, which is really random, I know. So the place that produces the most potatoes might also be kind of a random place. They don't call Ukraine the breadbasket of Europe for nothing, but I don't think they make the most potatoes. Ireland usually just runs out of them. We are starting on Belarus, which is just north of Ukraine, so maybe Ukraine is up there, but they are in 5th. Oh, is it Poland? Poland is going to be the one that we're focusing on, so they're in 2nd. What are we talking about? What are these numbers? Is this potatoes per year? Really kind of sounds like a funny thing to say. Okay, so Poland is going to be 2. Wow, they're really angry about it. 7 million. India. Is that India? I don't really see their symbol in the middle. Okay, here's Ukraine. Potato tons per country. So tons, these are okay, so India's going to be in 2nd, which shouldn't be surprising. Here's Russia. Russia's 3rd, India's 2nd. Is it the US? Oh, is it China? That would be that is really surprising, especially because are there a lot of Chinese dishes with potatoes in them? I can't really think of any. It is China, and they produce 1/3 of all of the world's potatoes. That probably helps out that there's not a whole lot of Chinese dishes with potatoes, because that means when they're making these, this is all profit. The Chinese people don't want any of them. They just export 100% out. I was kind of close with talking about Ukraine. They are in 3rd, but man, India and China, they're blowing us out of the water. Yeah, look at this. China's per capita consumption of potatoes is below the global average. Maybe this is why the video started with Belarus, since they are the #1 consumers of potatoes per capita. Top 10 coffee consuming countries. Again, this is one of those things that I've definitely looked up in the past, but I can't remember who is #1. So Canada's not going to be #1. If we're talking per capita, by pounds. So population is going to matter. I'm trying to remember those maps where they split Europe between tea Europe versus coffee Europe. Although just because a country drinks a lot of tea doesn't mean they don't also drink a lot of coffee. There is a little bit of a divide. So the UK and Turkey's, I think, the #1 consumer of tea, or at least they're up there. They're unlikely to be in the top 5, at least in my opinion. Why do I think it's going to be like a Nordic country? The Nordics are probably up there. I don't think it's the USA, because that's just kind of too boring. I just don't even want to say the USA. Here's a little bit of a twist. Is that Luxembourg or the Netherlands? They're kind of light blue down there. Belgium? I think it's a Nordic country, like Sweden or something. Switzerland? They definitely are up there. This is a very different format of the other, different like animation. Okay, that's the Netherlands right there. 17 pounds. This is per capita, per person, I believe. There's Sweden. Sweden with their Minecraft helmet on. There's Iceland. Again, another Nordic country. Denmark. Oh, I think I was right about the Nordic countries. It's Finland. Finland on average 26 pounds per person? That's crazy. Yeah, there it is. Finland, 26 pounds. The average Finn drinks nearly 4 cups a day. They've got to be wired up there. We definitely like our coffee here in the US, but we're still nowhere close to Canada and a large part of Northern Europe. This graph technically has the Netherlands at #1, but this might be a little bit old. I too am a coffee drinker. I always have coffee on me, but I only do like half a cup a day. Interestingly, this continent isn't as divided as I thought. The only tea drinkers are the British, the Irish, Turkey, and then a lot of Eastern Europe. It's all coffee, always has been. Back to this, which country has the most Orthodox population? I'll be honest, I have no idea. I would guess Russia. It's gotta be Russia, right? Israel is going to be more towards the bottom. They're probably not gonna have that many Orthodox. You know what? It might be Ethiopia, might be high up there. Ethiopia is actually one of the earliest Christian nations in the world. They were one of the first to adopt it. So there's Romania they're gonna be over 20 million, I believe, which is pretty high. There they are, going up to 20 million. But there's Ethiopia, dang, so they didn't win. Ethiopia's at maybe 30 million, so Romania's going to make a comeback. Oh, Ukraine. Russia's going to be #1. It's got to be. Well, Belarus should pop up, right? Here goes Ethiopia again. Again, it's so impressive. 50 million. Oh, Greece. Forgot about Greece, but Greece is just in third, maybe. And there it is, of course, Russia. I mean, I know overall what part of the world has the most Orthodox people, and then I just picked what country has the most population, so it was kind of obvious. But yeah, by a percentage basis, the Balkans really dominating. A lot of dark colors here. Makes me realize that, man, when the Soviet Union existed, they must have had so many Orthodox people in them, just because it's combining the first place country, Russia, and the third place country, Ukraine, then Belarus in there as well. I guess we got to bring everything full circle. Here's atheism per percent of the country. So we're starting with the Philippines. They're definitely not very high, especially because we saw the Philippines were high in terms of the Catholics, so they just can't have that many atheists. I think China's gonna, it's gotta be China, and China's gotta dominate. It can't even be really close, but then again, it really depends on what you classify. Oh, we're talking percentage too. That might throw things off. There's definitely certain parts of Europe that will be percentagely really high. Percentagely, is that a word? In terms of percentage. Turkey, there's no way Turkey's that high. There's just no way. I mean, 10% is... even 9 point something, really not that high. 1 out of every 10 people. Well, they're continuing to climb here at 12%. Sweden, definitely. You know what? Because we're doing percentages, I gotta pick someone in Europe. I don't really know who it's gonna be. China just has 1 billion people, so they're not gonna be getting too high. 70% of Sweden? Oh, Czechia. So we know Sweden is gonna be, oh, Vietnam? That was a cool little twist. There's China like we talked about. Oh, China is number 1. Oh, what? 90%. That's crazy. I don't know why I thought it wasn't going to reach that high, but there is also China, North Korea. Because we're using percentages, you know, seeing Czechia and the Netherlands, Estonia pretty high. I mean, there's only a couple million people that live in those places, but China has 1 billion, and yet they're at 90%, at least according to some figures. That is like unfathomable for me. That's just a lot of people. Surprised they were number 1. Again, that video is by Rukavov. Please go subscribe. I've loved his videos for so long now. I'm so happy he's still going. Big thanks to my patrons. You can find a link in the description down below to support me. The beautiful Megan Underwood. Drum your dad back with the milk. Look outside. A fat I cannot sleep without Drew's voice. Traven's annoying amateur archaeology.
Carmel
Fredrik Tibblin, InquisitorXarius. JohnDenver. KirinoIsBestGirl. Sebby, if you hear this, I love you. The Great Mexican 760. And ZaneyBoi.